Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and Sonic the Hedgehog released a new trailer designed to reintroduce the Sega Speedster with a square one redesigned look after its kind of freakish character design from its first trailer, or as the studio calls it, what first trailer? I'm gonna break down these visuals not just to compare the before and after, but to explain how and why the CGI in this trailer looks better to us. Despite, and here's the deeper truth, this new Sonic looks way less natural and falls into some common animation tropes, but that's kind of what we want. So here we go, the new, less nightmare-inducing Sonic explained. And thank you to privacy.com for sponsoring this episode. If you sign up now at privacy.com/newrockstars, you can get $5 today to use on any purchase online for free. So let us start with the previous trailer and the precise reasons people reacted so negatively to it. Some of the reasons were artificial, just people dogpiling onto something because it's fun, and freaking out over every little thing about him. But really, the shading and texturing on old Sonic weren't all that bad. Actually pretty similar to what the artists achieved with Detective Pikachu. Both teams succeeded in transforming a beloved smooth surface 2D game character into something closer to like the 3D plush doll. The problem is, while Detective Pikachu is a plush doll you want to hug forever, old Sonic is kind of like a weird knockoff plush doll that you find in another country and it makes your nephew cry when you give it to him. Sonic? Who is Sonic? Oh, you know Sonic. He turns into turtle and gives you wishes. That's not Sonic. Also, did you follow me home? Yeah, I am Ghost. The new redesigned Sonic from the latest trailer fixes that problem by reconnecting the character to how we visualized him from the Sega games. His anatomy is less humanistic, which is okay, because for many of us, the Sonic we know lives in a 16-bit world with limited detail. When we think of that Sonic, all we think of is a big blue spiky head, slicked back to make him look like a ball shape for when he rolls. We think big eyes, impatient expression, black button nose, huge red shoes, huge white gloves, not teeth. The new Sonic makes all those changes. His eyes, way bigger. His brow, heavier to give him more pronounced expressions. His shoes grew from tiny track sprinter ones to big, impractical, bright red ones. Even later in the trailer, when he wears other shoes, the hotel bath slippers, they're still pretty large and cartoony. He wears gloves now, because as we've seen with Disney characters, when you try to animate a character with white gloves, you can never show us their bare fingers. His hair spikes are similar, but notice there's less texture than before. It's as if the artists applied another round of hair gel to make it even more slick back. Now, narratively, the previous trailer tried to go the Detective Pikachu route. It began by establishing Sonic as a kind of fish out of water in our world. He leaves behind a single thick hair as a clue, comes back again and again. It's pretty unsettling because we don't think of Sonic as something that sheds. But this new trailer goes a new route, establishing Sonic in his vibrant video game world that we're familiar with. Ben Schwartz's voice narrates to us, reintroducing himself, using that whole reintroduction approach that Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse used to re-explain that movie's complex take on a familiar property. And so it works so well by embracing Sonic as the animated figure he has always been. Now the downside is the new result is far less lifelike as a character, but that's actually okay because Sonic is not a lifelike hedgehog. That old version fell within what artists refer to as the uncanny valley, in which the more lifelike you try to make an animated character, the more you risk slipping into that zone where the human brain struggles to recognize it as a human. Something's just like uncannily off. Kill it. This has been a criticism against some of the works of director Robert Zemeckis, like in The Polar Express and Welcome to Marwen, in which he made his animated characters so lifelike they look like they have no souls. And they don't. Those characters are evil. Meanwhile, characters like Gollum and Wall-E went through several redesigns until final versions of them that had huge, expressive eyes that served as windows into their beautiful, damaged souls. And the reason for this is we have grown up with all animated media looking a certain way, so that our brains have adjusted to accept huge-eyed cartoonish characters as the ones we connect with. It's our default. Similarly, our brains have tuned into seeing 24 frames per second as the natural frame rate of all films, even though 60 frames per second is more vivid and closer to how our eye functions. When we see that, our brains signal to us that something is slightly off. So all of this applies to the most crucial element of the new Sonic design, his eyes. They are huge. They went from taking a more natural 10% of the surface area of his face to like a whopping 40%. This trailer makes Sonic's eyes look even bigger in several moments by covering the negative space on his forehead with headbands, hats, batting helmets, kitchen rags, shower towels. It's also worth noting they changed Sonic's eye color. Before, his eyes were this unnatural turquoise color, which should be fine. Sonic's fur is also an unnatural blue color, but the eyes are so critical that the fact that the green reflecting from his irises is not the green of the surrounding exterior triggered a disconnect in our brain. For new Sonic, they changed the shade a little bit so that the green is closer to the green reflected by the light on the bushes, grass, and trees outside in the natural world. Real green, real eyes, real soul. Now, there's one more component to new Sonic's eyes that we have to acknowledge. But before I continue, thank you to Privacy.com for sponsoring this episode. Privacy.com is a free service that lets you buy things online using virtual cards instead of your real credit card information so that you can protect yourself on the internet. It's essentially a digital burner card with limits that you control. Privacy.com lets you avoid having to hand over the keys to your finances every time you sign up for a subscription and forget to cancel it, which I'm convinced is the main way most of these content providers make money, folks. They're just waiting for you to forget that you signed up for that free trial and then cha-ching. So for example, I have set up an account with Privacy, linked my bank account, and then I created this card specifically for my monthly Netflix subscription payment. For this virtual card, I'm setting the limit just above my monthly subscription amount, so if someone tries to use this Privacy card number again or overcharge it, Privacy will notify you that they've blocked it because the spending limit has already been reached. It's simple, it's fast, it's really just one click. They also are starting to offer new plans. There's the free one that lets you create up to 12 cards a month, but also there's a new Pro plan where you can get 36 cards a month and 1% cash back on your purchases. There's also a Teams plan that's useful for small businesses. So just head to privacy.com/newrockstars and sign up for an account. As a special treat for you guys, new customers will automatically get $5 to spend on your first purchase for a limited time only. Yep, that's free money. So just go to privacy.com/newrockstars and sign up now. Okay, back to new Sonic's eyes. Almost as important as the eyes themselves are the other things that the artist engorged to reduce the negative space of his forehead to powerful eyebrows. This new Sonic is so damn expressive, and that's largely because these eyebrows are freaking workhorses now. Remember, in the games, Sonic often furrows his brow. He has a kind of bitchy resting face. He taps his foot if you don't move. These new eyebrows reflect that impatience really well. And that brings us to new Sonic's overall face and expressions. Most importantly, this new design reduces the teeth that were so unsettling in the previous trailer. Mouths are notoriously the most difficult thing for VFX artists to animate because there are hundreds of surfaces all over your lips, your skin, your teeth, your gums, your tongue, that the uncanny valley is just waiting to drag you into. So if the character is a cartoon, just lean into it. Shrink that mouth size, or better yet, design a mouthless character. Now, this new Sonic's teeth rarely catch the light when he talks. In fact, if the mouth ever does catch the eye, it's often bent in this smirk. Now, this is actually 100% an unnatural human expression. This is often referred to as the DreamWorks face. One eyebrow cocked, one eyebrow down, mouth half smile, slightly open. Try making this face yourself. No one makes this face. Ow. But for so many animated films and trailers and posters, you see it, it's everywhere. And not just DreamWorks films. Pixar, Disney Animation, Illumination, and now Sonic. Like huge eyes and 24 frames per second, we see that face on animated characters and we think to ourselves, this guy's here for a good time, but he's also a bit naughty. Probably about to say something real clever. It's a trope, but you know what? It works. And in the case of Sonic, as much as we the viewers claim to be ahead of the curve in our character design tastes, our perceptions of what seems real are actually locked into how our brains were programmed when we were children watching Aladdin, which might be why we respond like children when characters animated the wrong way freak us out. What do you think of this new Sonic? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, and follow New Rockstars on social media, and subscribe to New Rockstars here on YouTube for all of your nightmares to be explained. Thank you for watching. Bye.